Hey guys, it's Vince. Today in this video, I'm on the channel Making Time, and we're watching a video called CNC Router from Scratch. I'm not going to waste any of your time. We're going to get right into this, and I want you to hear where this end user explains where he got these plans from that's giving him all this information to do what he's doing as he builds this unit.
And then I moved to doing a test run on all the electronic components. These stepper motors and drivers and control panels were all new to me.
All new to him.
So I got my parts list and my wiring diagram from plans I bought from JD's Garage. Now their plans are...
Did you hear it? Did you hear it? JD's Garage. How many videos I've done on that guy?
Another potential client.
I'm telling you right now, when you watch this, first and foremost, he's already openly admitted that he doesn't have any familiarity with these drives, hardware, whatever. Listen to this.
For a CNC plasma table, so I had to change things up a little bit. But overall, their plans are very affordable and helpful. It gave me the confidence to tackle the electronic components of this project.
Gave him the confidence to tackle this project.
I'll include a link to their site in the description.
And of course, why not sell their plans because he bought them? Right. Now my question, and this is to all those people out there who get butthurt, if this guy can do research to find those plans, how is it possible what you're about to see he couldn't find in terms of finding correct information to measure that against to what JD's plans are saying? Think about what I just said. Here's an interesting tidbit of him soldering. You notice he's missing some stuff, right? Like flux. None of these connections are done properly with the proper strength. I've covered that numerous times. We've got a cable here that's basically butchered. I mean, the thing is floured open. I don't know how he would even end up closing that. Okay, and of course, I'm not blaming him. I want you to think logically. If you buy plans from someone who is claiming to know and be knowledgeable in a field, and the plans that you're getting don't tell you anything in regards to how to select the cables, how to solder cables, how to do any of the actual assembly that takes more level of detail than they're able to provide, this is what you get. This is the definition of every video I've actually covered with my fail series. If you think about it, I've bought plans from so-and-so, and this led me to this. Let's see how his controller looks.
I had to cut a hole to make room for it. I 3D printed this box and installed a computer fan to keep the components cool.
What size computer fan? How much CFM is a fan blowing? We need to know because we have multiple drives in that little tiny enclosure. So in order to keep them drives cool, inside the operating manual of each drive should tell you what operating temperature is safe. You might even find information regarding the size cooling fan and the amount of CFM required, meaning airflow required to be blown over them to keep them cool. You don't know, you said? That's no problem. You have all this beautiful research that can be done using AI, using Google, you've got Yahoo, whatever browser you'd like. All it takes, sir, is 10 minutes to do the research. But you didn't do it. No, we're relying on JD's Garage, which again, I'm sure they didn't tell him what fan, because why would he have not covered that? Doesn't make sense. So either way, it's a drop ball. The question is, where does this go? How do you guys ground plastic?
So after I got it situated and the power supply put...
Now think about this. Wait till you see his drives. I'm curious
began running wires.
How they're going to fit in this enclosure. Look at the size of that drive. That's one. Of course, it's 3-axis machine. Minimally, it's 3-axis. How are you going to fit 3 of those drives in there, along with the controller or breakout board? Then he's putting his power supply exterior mounted. I'm not making this up. You can see it. You notice the plans over here? See what I'm saying? You can see right here what he's doing. He has no regard to understand the level of detail required to do this, not because of any other reason that it's not in those plans. Had it been in the plans like, hey, we need to make sure you're using the proper double shielded cable. We need to make sure you're using a proper metal enclosure so it can be properly grounded. We're using plastic here. So I'm curious to all those guys that get butthurt when I bring this up, yet you're seeing it here live. You're seeing somebody that bought plans with their hard-earned money from someone they assumed, ask you and me, actually knew what they were doing and got burned. This is it. He got burned. There is no doubt in my mind. This is not at all assembled correctly.
That's the mounting block for the ESP32 control board I'm using.
ESP32 control board, that's a USB control board. Universal serial bus. That means the signals are running on 5 volt. One more time. How do you ground that enclosure? Can't. That means that board is not grounded at all. That means we're dealing with 5 volt signals that will be easily corrupted due to the fact that USB is completely unstable for CNC use, not said just by me, but also in the correspondence I have with Balzis, lead engineer over at CNC Drive. If that's not enough for you, you can do an open Google search, which I'll provide on screen, and you can see exactly how these boards are not applicable for these applications because of their inherent instability. But it gets worse. Let's see where it goes. We'll let him finish his build. When you look at that drive installed in that enclosure, look at this. You could see that one drive take up about 70% of the space in that enclosure. But he continues, and what's more important is he'll continue to route wires, and it never ceases to amaze me how people will focus in areas that require such little attention and deviate from focusing on levels of detail required in areas that require maximum attention. You'll see it for yourself. Here we go.
Here's what everything looked like, screwed down and tucked away inside the box.
Do I really need to say anything? I mean, we have shields that are completely exposed. Nothing is grounded because it's not possible. You have plastic and wood. Wonderful insulators. Not only that, you have a fire hazard. But that's okay. We'll let them continue. Does this look acceptable? Does this look like somebody you'd want to learn from? Most of you out there that already know are shaking your heads. It's the people in his audience. What has he got, 1,100 subs? Those are the people that are innocent. I consider them more innocent because they're following this gentleman thinking, hey, he knows what he's doing. I like his content. We'll just keep going. And yet, this is what he presents. I mean, look at the amount of space inside this enclosure. Like, there isn't a point where you're saying, Jesus, I don't know if this is right. I can barely work in here. I'm just saying something I would look at, many of you would look at too. I mean, how do you fit that board, regardless of it being stable or not? How do you even sit there and say, well, that makes sense, I think I'll do this? I'm just asking, because to me, I don't know how I would work like that. I mean, when I'm in a confined space, I hate feeling that constraint. I like working in a more open space. It will allow you then to route everything. We have daisy chaining being done right here. And again, it's all over the place. I mean, we look at this, and can you blame him, or do we blame JD's Garage? It does no justice to purchase anything online from people you don't know without doing any research. So when do you become accountable to what you're presenting your audience? That's what I ask. Think about it. I mean, if this is the kind of stuff we put out, and then other guys do this, are you telling me they're not going to have a problem with this? Wait, maybe you need to see some more.
This is just some thin filter material that I'm going to use to try to keep the dust
Filter
out
material.
of my control box as much as possible.
Trying to keep stuff out of his control box as much as possible. He's using closed dense foam, guys. So think about what's happening right now. If the fan is intaking air on one end and it's blowing air out, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll say the fan is an evacuation fan, so it's sucking heat out of the enclosure. If that's the case, and you put closed cell foam on this side, didn't you just suffocate the fan? Think about what you're doing. If that's closed cell foam, which I'm 99.9% sure it is, it's made for packaging, then what you're ending up doing is suffocating your air volume. And he would know that if he put his hand on the outside when he turns on the unit, he would know that. So yes, sir, while you are filtering, so to speak, by not letting dust get sucked in from that intake port, the other issue is you're suffocating the fan because the vacuum is gone. You have no more way to bring cold air in or ambient temperature air into your enclosure. We'll continue. Because again, I'm sure many of you out there, the guys out there that get butt hurt, they want to see more to see if I'm right. Look at this. what have we here? We have a wood router. What do you think a wood router is going to do? Not designed for CNC robotics use. And then we can't ground anything because we have a control box, an enclosure that is manufactured out of plastic. You have an ESP32 USB controller being used, which already has built-in instability due to the fact of the low signal voltage it uses, on top of the fact that USB in general can have all kinds of grounding issues from your PC, voltage spikes. What do you think is going to happen when you introduce a wood router from, again, a general hardware store or Lowe's Home Depot box store? These routers are simply not designed for these applications. And the issue is you have to use the proper double shielded cable to mitigate EMI, or you are essentially stacking issues. And let me be very concise with that. A lot of guys don't understand this. There is no variable in CNC that is not looked at in a symmetrical format when we are dealing with synergistic effect. And synergistic effect means that every step or variable is greater than itself because it amplifies with more and more variables. What I mean to say is if you have a problem because you didn't use double shielded cable, and then on top of that we're using a wood router, and then on top of that we're using a USB motion controller, and then on top of that we're using an enclosure that can't be grounded because it's plastic, all of those variables are not just one problem, they exacerbate a problem that already exists. That's why you see CNC Zone filled with a bunch of just ridiculous comments. I can't get this. One guy's system can use the same hardware, he gets perfect results. Another guy's system running the same hardware gets shit results. Why is that? Because of that. That's it. You just learned engineering in a nutshell. It's not about putting great tires on a car with a bent rim and a half-cocked tune-up. You've got to look at what we're dealing with. Everything is synergistic. There is not one mistake made. It's one mistake building on another mistake, building on another mistake, and you're shaking your head, and most of you can't believe it, because the people that are getting hurt are no other than his audience, the innocent people, the people that want to do it right but think he might be their covenant to doing that. Unfortunately, he's marketing plans that he built incorrectly, and then they're going to carry over to the next guy. Exactly what I said. Misinformation built on misinformation is you're fucked.